Okay, first thing on the agenda is Leanne. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Leanne Wright, and I have the honor of serving as the Executive Director of the Community Foundation of Pulaski County. At the Community Foundation, we believe that informed decisions lead to impactful change, which is why I am pleased to share a series of community reports with you today. These reports reflect not just data, but the collective experiences, challenges, and opportunities within our community. These reports are the result of diligent research, collaboration, and a shared commitment to enhancing the quality of life for those we serve. The reports, which I emailed earlier to you, are also available on the Community Foundation's website under the Reports tab. The most recent report being the Pulaski County Strategic Visioning Plan, which was completed by the Indiana Communities Institute at Ball State University. This report gathered from data from a series of 5 community listening sessions throughout the county and provides a prioritized list of focus areas, as well as highlighting our strengths and the gaps that require attention. As I promised at the listening sessions, I am delivering this report to you for your consideration in addressing the immediate and future needs of Pulaski County. As local leaders, your role is crucial in shaping the policies and initiatives that respond to these insights. This data is not just for analysis, it is a tool for action. For example, you may wish to consider pursuing a comprehensive community plan for the county through the Office of Community and Rural Affairs, or OCRA. OCRA has planning grants available to assist in this process, and fortunately, because of the income survey conducted last year, Pulaski County is eligible for grant funding for this purpose. You may also want to consider inviting the Indiana Communities Institute to return to Pulaski County and complete a CBAP, or Community-Based Action Plan, to follow up on the listed priorities in the presented reports. The Community Foundation will utilize these reports to shape and direct our work, and we invite you to do the same. The Community Foundation also stands ready to partner with you to support initiatives that will drive positive change in the community, enrich the lives of residents, and create a better quality of life for all in Pulaski County. Together, we have an opportunity to ensure that every resident has access to a thriving and resilient community. And I thank you for your dedication and service to the county, and I look forward to future conversations on how we can collaborate to make Pulaski County an even better place to live, work, and play. And do you have any questions for me at the moment?
Well, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I did email those reports, and I'll leave a copy here with Teresa. Thank you so much.
Okay. Carla, the building inspector, you're next.
So I've been in the building department for 8 years, and I've never had to ask for an additional. So this is the first time. You all know APC has had a lot of important situations going on and a lot of legal documents. We've been without an attorney for 10 months now. So we've reached out to probably about a dozen different attorneys. And at our last APC meeting, the board did vote for Jacob Ayler. So I am coming to you to request scheduling the approval of getting an additional for $7,000.
Okay.
Additional personal commissioners, council, represent.
That is a good point, and I had discussed that situation with him, and he wanted me to reiterate that his position as the attorney would be just to make sure documents are done appropriately and procedurally, like confirming Indiana code, notices are written appropriately, things of that nature, which I would guess that he would be willing to speak to you potentially about that if necessary. But like I said, it's been about a dozen attorneys and the retainers have been extreme, or they're an hour and a half away and they want to come to the meetings. And I don't feel that it would be very cost effective for us unless you would approve it, that we have some also would want to drive to the meetings even if there wasn't anything, that's just how their procedures are.
But do you want to keep looking, Jerry, or board's
The
wishes?
decision's not up to me, but I think everybody ought to get everybody's viewpoint.
Yeah, maybe we need to get some more information.
Table at the next meeting, get some more information, or what do you, we have a short board tonight anyway. Do that, or you okay with that? Nice.
I can give you the list of the attorneys that we've reached out to.
Yeah, that'd be
There,
good if you could
there have
email
been
it to
some
us.
from Fort Wayne, Maryville. We've had a couple local ones, Peru, Kokomo. So I can get the list and send it over.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Gary wants a new truck. What do you got, Gary? That's pretty easy. I think we already approved it, didn't we? We didn't? You got it in your budget though, right?
Well, basically, it come to me at the end of last year, the availability of the Allison transmissions could be getting hard to come by. Approached, be interested. I said, well, I needed to ask the commissioners first. Commissioners said, yeah, go ahead and proceed. Then coming to the council, it's going to be the end of the fourth quarter of this year of when it will arrive. So I think I've got the funding to pay for the truck, but the upfit coming from Terry's next year's. I should be real close to having enough money to pay for the truck.
Entertain a motion. Got a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you.
And the only other thing, we did get approved for the 2025-1 community crossings. We found that out on 6th of March, $994,531. The 9-mile of new hot mix.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, the next thing on the agenda is Chris, and we already talked to, Chris said his transfers are here and he doesn't need to speak. That was, unless you have.
To get the two, actually, we're able to get a third one. So we're going to trade off my old relic and possibly get a third used one. We're not getting 3 new ones. So we're able, 2 came in, they're down getting equipped now. A third one, which is used, 4 years old. So I wanted to update you on that. So it's all within our.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and if you have any questions about the housing, we don't house under the former sheriff. He was able to get kennels built, so we were able to transfer some money out of there. Used for vet services, we had a bunch of unexpected expenses. So if you have any questions, I can answer those. The other one, a fugitive transport from Kentucky back to Indiana. Okay.
To approve, because when Chris came before, we had the other stuff, but the fugitive transport and that, we need to do a motion because you don't have a motion on that. I don't know if, because it's on the transfers later on,
Okay,
so I'm sure maybe as long as you do it that way,
that's fine.
do it included with the transfers from, that he had come, or that everybody else had come and asked for before.
Yeah, and we'll have another one this month because we have actually 2 that's coming from Kentucky. We'll go down. He just signed extradition, so that'll be on the next month. So however you want to do.
Did you have Kentucky went on this one too then?
They're both coming
Oh,
from
okay.
Kentucky.
Yeah, I thought
so
when you was talking.
It's gonna be
about it, that's next
confusing.
month, so we don't have to worry about it. So
It's going to be confusing. So we have one that we've already brought back. We hire a company to do that. That's this one, and we'll have one next month. So, okay?
No, it's on there.
Okay. then.
It's on there.
So then we'll
We're
just add
okay.
it for the next one.
Okay, thank you. I'll let you know what the cost
Yeah,
is. I don't know the cost yet. I just wanted to give you the heads up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys will bring the transfer later.
Yep.
Know the cost. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Next thing on the agenda is Nathan, courthouse project update, security.
Good evening, everybody. So first, update on project finances. Our owner's contingencies current balance is just above $196,000, minus the eventual costs for the sidewalk, which are just shy of 20 grand if we end up paying for it fully out of our contingency. Right now, we have approximately $100,000 in expected change orders in the future. Ton and Blank retains a healthy construction contingency with the balance somewhere in the 300,000s, if not still in the 400,000s. Additionally, we have a couple of lines in our budget where we likely have a bit of excess that we could reallocate to our contingency if it were to become necessary. As I reported to the commissioners last week, we have a current total of $60,160.90 in ineligible interest funds. This is money that we're not permitted to allocate toward the project and may only use for improvements to other county-owned facilities. Any interest accrued from the current CD will also end up in this pool of funds. Commissioner Knievel brought up the possibility of allocating some or all of this, depending on how much we end up having, toward improvements at EMS, which I'd also already discussed with Director Doherty. I am aware of a few other needs as well, and how the county expends these will ultimately depend in part on how much total interest we get once this current $5 million is cashed out. Any question on finances? A couple of updates on progress then. Delta 3 was able to connect the building's plumbing to the Winnemac water system last Monday. This is the second to last underground utilities task. MEP installations continue, including the hanging of more light fixtures and the installation of toilets and sinks, as does the cleaning and repair of the exterior block walls. Painting subcontractors continue prepping and painting, as well as staining new millwork. Superintendent John Allen informed me that he expects to see the tiling of the lower level hallway floors begin this week. I am expecting updated furniture plans this week, and our furniture consultants, Lou Minot and I, will be meeting with department heads next Friday for a final review before we move forward with purchasing. Based on the current calendar, we expect furniture to be on site by mid-June. Any questions about progress?
Good.
All right, then last thing I want to bring up pertains to building security. Obviously, this is ultimately a sheriff's office issue, as those would be staff positions created in their budget. I did speak with both the sheriff and matron Carrie Aaron before adding this to my report. The building will have a single point of access, of public access, on the north side of the basement. We've included a small office for security at this location at what was once the front office of the assessor's office. We need to start working toward answering the question of budgeting for additional positions because of the alternative pathways we'll need to explore further if the station isn't manned. We have three options. We could add 2 or 3 security positions, whatever the sheriff thinks is necessary, cover both, have backup, whatever. And station 2 persons at this main courthouse entrance as we do in the Justice Center currently. We could leave the building unguarded and unlocked and hope for the best. And we could leave the building unguarded and locked with personnel in the Justice Center controlling access. The benefits and costs of the first option are apparent, I think, as are the risks of the second. In the third scenario, we either would assign this responsibility solely to our dispatchers, who already manage after-hours Justice Center access, or to the front desk security officers during business hours, and to dispatchers only after hours. Assigning the job solely to dispatchers creates the possibility of leaving people seeking entrance to the courthouse waiting in cases where dispatchers are handling higher priority matters like 911 calls. Assigning the role to front desk security would recall installing software on their computers to loop them into the system, and would create similar issues for people seeking access to the courthouse, albeit probably less frequently when security personnel are scanning entrance in the Justice Center or addressing other responsibilities of theirs. And we would still have that after hours issue for dispatch having to balance between courthouse entrance and dispatch 911 calls, although I suspect that after hours public reasons to get into the courthouse are going to be even more minimal than they are in the Justice Center because we don't have inmates who are being visited or being released, that sort of thing. So the after hours, wouldn't be as big of a concern. I'm certainly not asking the council to make a final commitment to anything at this moment, but we need to know if funding additional security officers is even going to be a possibility. If that is possible, not guaranteed, we're still in a little bit of limbo, but at least we've taken one step forward and can sort of have contingency plans in place. If it's definitely not going to happen, then I know that I have to have these further conversations and to make the expenditures necessary to address building access otherwise. You have any questions for me or the sheriff about this at this moment?
I don't. Anybody else? I think we're good. Thank you for that information there. Anything else?
Not unless you have any questions for me.
Brandy, you're next.
And thank you for letting me share tonight. I'm here on behalf of Pulaski County Tribe to personally invite you to an exciting event that could shape the future of arts and culture in our county. On March 20th, we're hosting an art and culture creative concept celebration. It is my hope that each of you have received in your inboxes an invitation to this as well by now. This isn't just another event or meeting. This is about what could be for Pulaski County and how we can harness creativity to strengthen our county in ways we may not have imagined before. We'll have live music, refreshments, great conversation, and an opportunity to be a part of something bigger. What exactly does that look like? Well, that's the puzzle pieces we're putting together. We know that thriving communities invest in arts, culture, and creative spaces, not just for enjoyment, but for economic growth, community pride, and increased engagement. This initiative isn't just about artists either. It's about businesses, organizations, families, and local leaders coming together to explore how creativity can enhance our county's future. We believe leaders like you are important to be a part of this conversation, and we'd love to see you there to share your perspectives. I don't want to give too much away, but I will say this, something new and exciting is being tested. We'd love for you to be among the first to be part of it. It's an evening to connect, communicate, collaborate, and explore what's possible for Pulaski County's future. Every piece of this puzzle matters, and we hope you'll bring yours. I'd be happy to answer any questions, but the best way to find out is to be there in person. We hope to see you on March 20th.
Can you tell everybody where it's at so other people can go? I know we got the email, but
Yeah,
I don't even remember where it was at right now.
My apologies, I skipped
That's
right
fine.
over it. It is on March 20th at One Eye Jack Celebration Station, downtown Winnemac from 6 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
Any questions or comments? I will share that this effort is the result of a multi-day training and a multi-engagement opportunity that 4 of our members have been directly involved with, and the group at large has been involved with a little bit more of arm's length with the Creative Convergence and the Indiana Tourism Association and the Indiana Arts Association. I have invitations I'll hand you now if that's okay.
Thank you. Well, we need to get our stuff done here. The entertain motions for minutes from 2:10.
Second.
Got a motion, a second to approve the minutes presented. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Carried. We need to approve and sign the encumbrances for 2024. Entertain a motion for that. About a second.
I can.
I got a motion, a second for the encumbrances for 2024. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Next thing on the agenda is the transfers. We got $3,000 for animal housing to veterinarian services, $630 from gas and oil to fugitive transport. Health Department, $5,000 from full-time nurse to part-time help. Transfer.
Besides the ones you approved at the last meeting, that's the only one that you didn't have approved yet.
Okay, so we need to get these approved. Need a motion for that?
Make a motion to approve.
Second? I got a motion, a second, to approve the transfers as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Now we need to approve additional advertising for additional for Superior Court. 35,000 contracted services, 15,000 dollars for office equipment. That will be reimbursed by FSSA and Community Foundation grants. Also 5,000 for pretrial to equipment. And EMA has 5812 to overtime, 795 to tires and tubes, 200 to disaster preparedness supplies, 300 to training, 75 to printing advertising. And I have already glasses for that one. 500 to service maintenance with WTH, 50 to dues and subscription for additionals that need to be advertised.
So
Oh,
for the
A lot of
Superior,
addition.
for the Superior Court one, for the 5,000 for equipment for pre, is that not getting first from?
Pretrial is just the stuff for.
That's the first chunk.
And these you've already approved.
Right.
I just advertised them and now, I've got to advertise and we just need to.
Okay, so we're approving the advertised additionals, not approved to advertise. I might have said that wrong. It's approved advertised additional. Okay, they've already been approved by us once.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion, a second to approve advertised additionals as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. You guys have any discussion? See, we have this here about budget resources that we can take home and look at this PowerPoint. Won't be long, we'll be doing budgets again. Do that next meeting. Anybody did anything exciting? No?
Getting back to this courthouse security, I know we're not gonna make a decision tonight. My personal opinion, I think option one would be the best.
Okay. I didn't like the option with the having dispatch do it. They have important stuff to do besides trying to let Jim in to use the restroom.
So I sit on the courthouse steering committee and Teresa does too. So does the sheriff, so does Jennifer. And we kind of talked about this at our last meeting. And I've talked to a couple department heads that will be in the courthouse and they have panic buttons in their offices if there's an emergency. So if there's a problem, they can hit the panic button and sheriff's department's across the street and they could be there. And most of them seemed okay with that. As far as that's what they've had, they feel comfortable with it. That was the majority of what I spoke to them.
Yeah, and like as far as our nighttime meetings, I mean, we're lucky that you come to our meetings. You come to our meetings, you know, Jeff came to our meetings. We always had, you guys always came as, okay.
So does one stay at the front of the Justice Building and then does one stay at the Justice Building and then one does a walk around every?
Okay, thank you. We have any public comment? Yeah,
May I just ask a question or make an observation or point something out that you might not be aware of? The meetings moving to the 6 p.m. time conflicts with the town of Winamac council meetings also. And there's some of us that would like to be able to participate in both. I don't know the reasoning for your time changing. I just wanted to bring that about, that it is a little bit of a conflict and slight concern for some of us who would like to be in two places at once and we can't. When they were at 6 and 7, we could go from one to the other if they stayed on time. So I just wanted to point that out.
okay, thank you.
Asked $7,000 and you guys didn't, you wanted to hold off on using the same attorney, but couldn't she get the money and then you can decide the attorney later? Like, I didn't know. Like, go ahead and give her the $7,000 and
We
then you
could,
can,
but we're not going to.
so, okay. I just wondered if
Yeah.
it was like a no, like,
Not yet. We're too short and, you know, want to look over the list and stuff.
okay.
But that's about it,
All right. I just remember you were in favor of him at the APC.
you know.
Okay.
Any other public comment? Well, motion to adjourn and we'll sign our papers, or you want to
I'll make-
sign the papers and adjourn?
Make a motion.
Got a motion, a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Motion carried. Don't forget to sign your papers.